value map. Okay, value map is something you use to explain to your clients the cost and benefit. Ya, contohnya tadi you kata you have mula-mula you kena ada value matrix dulu You kena ada value matrix. Okay. So you will have a current value matrix. Lepas tu you will have your design value matrix. Lepas tu barulah you will have your gap. Current design and you have the gap or the opportunity. Okay. Contohnya you kata tadi you punya revenue kan will be based on you punya sales sales pula. You punya apa? Revenue tadi bergantung kepada product availability kan? Okay. Bergantung kepada product availability dan juga apalah
price
price apa semua
sales kan, price.
So you have the current gap kat sini and then your design tadi ni yang daripada you punya capacity design tadi tu you masuk you punya desired or design capacity, kemudian kat sini you cerita you punya gap. Okay, so you now speak to your management, look boss, we may have a few strategy here. Sama ada kita nak increase capacity atau nak reduce cost. So macam COVID ni kan Ustaz selalu tanya, okay Josh, if we have to do retrench, how possible, how much impact? So kita akan bagi tahu, kita akan calculate straight back and then finance akan bagi tahu dia punya data, dia buat dia punya analysis and then on the overall logic tree kita akan tengok. So we will give all this information, so we come up with the cost benefit analysis. So kat sini kita nak tengok kalau kita increase capacity, berapa banyak modal ataupun berapa banyak yang kita dapat. Kalau kita reduce cost, berapa banyak kita dapat. How does all this strategy is mapped into one visual representation of the value map. So you will say that by increasing availability from 80% to 100, you will say you will now increase your revenue from 80 juta kepada 100 juta. Okay, kemudian you akan dengan this is by apa tadi tu? Increase availability kan? Increase product. Reduce cost pula. Bila you reduce cost, so you will gain cost product you berubah daripada katalah you punya cost remove about 10 million katakan, dan kemudian you akan dapat how many value kat sini. So total what is the value map you can deliver to the business. So a consultant will now use this to gauge the value of dia punya solutions to the client. So if you see companies like McKinsey and all top consultants, selalunya diorang akan kata macam ni okay, after the situational assessment that we did, which you already pay us 1 million to do, contohnya lah kalau macam Renoir ke apa kan, we found out that you have a 40 million gap. Right, so if we do this for you, we do this for you, we do this for you, we'll take 10% from the gap that we have closed for you. Therefore, our fee would be a good 4 million ringgit, something like that. Yeah, so you will see that different level of consultant, they will be able to charge very differently. based on dia punya impact to the company. Okay, so this is what we call value map lah. Kita nak tengok what is the value of each initiative yang we have identified. Okay, so we are talking about here, nampak ni, design theoretical limit is also known as design. Current state is your actual. Alright, so we'll see that do you increase stock ke, do you reduce you reduce feedstock ke, you increase sales ke, apa dia punya, then you will see dia punya impact dia pada the earning. Okay, so this is how you summarize your financial logic tree tadi bersama dengan your capacity study. You summarizekan dia dan you masukkan dia di dalam satu map. Okay, so you will see that kita kata tadi current OEE dia 60. So bila dia increase ke 100%, dia telah memberi berapa juta kat sini? Tak nampak tak? Okay, dia telah increase dia punya revenue dan juga dia akan buat kurangkan apa-apa benda kat sini. So dia akan bagi tahu strategi sama ada reduce cost or increase capacity. What is the impact to the overall results. So kalau dekat dalam agent, contohnya agent management kan, yang Hafiz punya. So kita kata kalau kita increase agent development, agent recruitment activity, kan, berapa increase of revenue yang kita boleh dapat dengan hanya increase recruitment activity. Banyak mana pula revenue kita boleh dapat dengan increase development activity, which is academy punya position. Yes. Berapa banyak pula revenue kita boleh dapat dengan marketing incentive, campaign kita tu lah. So benda ni semua dia akan duduk di dalam satu value map yang akan menggambarkan bagaimana syarikat tersebut akan dapat dia punya targeted profit and sales. Itulah lebih kurang dia masukkan ke dalam satu ni ya. So contoh kita kata okay, kalau kita nak increase profitability for kita punya objective is to increase profit kan. So kita tahu profit, kita tahu cost yang ada adalah COGS berapa cost dia, overhead berapa cost dia, apa cost dia, apa semua. So kita kena illustrate all this to show that what is the potential profit yang our agent will receive dengan menunjukkan di dalam satu value map. So dia akan tahu, oh kalau I concentrate on, kalau I put more effort in hiring new agent, my income, my revenue compounding for that year will increase, kan? So dia kata with that, dia pun letaklah target berapa-berapa new agent yang dia nak recruit. Sama lah dengan develop kan, kalau dia kata if I develop my agent from their current state RM1,000, I develop dia sampai dia boleh jual RM5,000. So dia will nampak the value of this. So you use this as tools to ataupun how you want to convince your agent, especially kalau agent you tu N and T. Ya, sebab dia nak tengok bigger picture tau. Dia suka tengok ni lah nama bigger picture ni. Dia mapkan semua sekali. Tapi kalau orang S, orang S dia nak tengok ni lah. Dia nak tengok yang ni. Okay. Tapi kalau orang N atau most business, dia memang mesti nak tengok, okay, let me see the overall. So if I manipulate these variables ni, how will it impact our profit? So this is what we make lah. So at the end of the day, what you do is, given opportunity for you to consult a company, there are many ways to go in. Setengah syarikat, dia dengar sahaja nama baik konsultan tersebut, dia akan panggil konsultan tu untuk suggest improvement. Okay? Jadi, kalau dapat skop macam ni, eloklah kita mula daripada buat situational assessment dan buat gap dan buat this tadi. Kadang-kadang customer ni dia dah scope pula bahagian yang dia nak kita tengok. Contohnya dia kata tolong tengok sekejap our supply chain, kata contoh kan. So when you do situational assessment, you have to show the key levers ataupun what will be the variable or intervention yang you nak buat akan impact kepada the value chain. So kalau you ada scope pun you kena guna situational assessment. Tak ada scope pun you boleh mula kerja sebab you tahu macam mana buat situational assessment. So the run through would be like this. When you are called to do situational assessment, first thing first, cari the linchpin or the right person in charge that can connect you with everyone in the company. Okay. Secondly, you know that you have to do your financial logic 3 for you to gauge the impact of your solution to the company punya business. Then you have to kenal dia orang finance dia lah, yang orang account dia. For them to give you data, you need non-disclosure agreement and you will need influence technique to know how you can get data from these people. So now once you get the financial data, you do financial logic 3. Bila you buat financial logic 3, your logic 3 will give you a signal of where you would be able to see improvement needed. Okay? Tapi itu tak cukup lagi kalau setakat financial data saja. You must look at the capacity. Because running asset at full capacity ni maksudnya you have to know what's the maximum lah. So you use waterfall chart to show what is the design or expected capacity versus actual. So gap tu lah yang sebenarnya menunjukkan your opportunity loss. Okay. So the opportunity loss tu pun you dah dapat. Then next you have to now present to the management of your recommendation. So how would you do that? You do not want to show financial logic 3. Jangan tunjuk logic 3 tu pula dekat management, pening kepala dia. Tunjuk sahajalah the situational assessment, tunjukkan the waterfall chart dan tunjukkan the value map. And with this situational assessment, you must earn a ticket to do problem solving. Okay, maksud kata sebelum buat situational assessment, jangan terekam buat solution. Jangan juga buat root cause analysis. Tak perlu lagi kat level situational assessment ni. Okay, so dekat situational assessment ni is for you to get the green light. When you present, you kata from this situational assessment, we can see that our opportunity loss is about 20 million. Therefore, can I get approval for me to proceed with the project, with the improvement project? So, bila klien nampak, opportunity 40 juta and I just pay you 4 juta, I still get 36 juta on top of what I'm getting now. Dan ambil lah 4 juta tu. Macam tu lah kan. Berangan je lah kan. Kalau
Contoh Jas, kalau macam kita kata dia punya apa opportunity dia tu macam 40 million kan untuk depa gain. But if that 40 million is in a span of probably 2 years. So does that affect how they pay the consultant or macam mana?
Okay. Alright, thank you. So consultant will be paid dua cara. Satu, hanya buat situational assessment sahaja. Yang tu tak dapatlah 10%. Yang tu maybe lah the most expensive I have paid for on behalf of my previous company berapa 600,000 for 1 week of situational assessment. So yang tu once you present this situational assessment 4-5 slide je get paid 600,000. Phew. Okay, but that's not my company lah, tu company orang lain. But that is the appetite of management wanting to know the overall overall view of depa punya ni. Sama juga kalau people ask us to do manpower optimization, kalau dia kata hanya okay, Jasmiza, can you gauge the gap value kan before they bring us to optimize dia orang punya ni. So we will calculate lah FTE apa semua, then we tell them by right earning for each dia panggil apa? ROCE tu tak tahulah apa earning for each resource yang you ada tu should be at certain, therefore you have a 30% 40% productivity gap. So yang tu kan dia ada charges lain. Bayar hantar report tu you get paid lah 5,000 ke 6,000 ke padan lah dengan kita company kecil-kecil ni kan ya. Okay. After that, semasa nak buat gap closing activity, which is now you are saying that you akan project tu may take 2 years. Ya. Yang itu nanti dia akan buka pula for bidders. Scope dia adalah construction so bla 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 kan apa semua ni. Okay, semua consultant tolong bid hanya ikut technical spec scan. Then it's a different contract altogether. Okay, so that is the big player punya way lah. Small player macam kita ni, kita lamsam sekali, maksudnya kita kata this is what we will deliver for you within 6 months, dia tekan. Okay, tapi selepas 6 months kalau ada lagi gap-gap besar apa semua, kita akan maklum balik, dan kalau kita boleh buat, kita buat. Tak boleh buat, the client we will recommend to the client siapa subject matter dia. So that is a different two appetite lah. Okay, coming back to that. Kita tidak tahu projek tu 2 tahun ke berapa ke dalam situational assessment. Kerana di dalam situational assessment kita tidak design solution. Kita tidak boleh design solution tanpa mendapat problem statement yang jelas. Problem statement tu mai mana? Problem statement tu mai daripada value map yang kita just completed. Okay? Macam tadi kita kata, takkanlah kita nak kata problem statement kita punya problem adalah kita ada revenue gap 10 juta. Takkan problem statement macam tu kot. Kan? Jenuh lah dia punya variable berlambat dalam tu. So problem statement should be a little bit more specific. Kita akan kata problem pertama yang kita ada adalah capacity katakan. Macam mana kita nak increase capacity. So then solving problem akan masuk ke modul yang seterusnya. After you have done situational assessment, klien pun dah tersandak kata, if we do not do anything, we will have greater loss. So we might as well want to do now. Please proceed. Oh, dapat je that green light, baru you scope balik you punya problem statement based on your value map tadi kan, apa yang you kata hak ni capacity masalah, hak ni maintenance masalah, yang ni masalah apa semua. baru kita scope those project differently, submit pula untuk stage gate pertama. Okay, so SA ni berlaku sebelum project atau problem solving. Okay, dalam tu sebab kalau kita buat presentation dekat bos kita, dekat management, kadang-kadang kita terjun the objective of this project is to apa-apa semua. Lepas tu orang yang dekat meeting tu, why do we want to do this? Dia tak ada background. Sebab apa tak ada background? Tak buat SA. Dia hanya dengar je. Bos kata, ni you tolong selesaikan ni. Dia terus terekam masuk ke solution. This happen mostly if we have not upgraded our skill from execution or executive to be a manager. Manager ni dia kena always naik helikopter, tengok dan bagi situation dulu, baru bagi problem, baru bagi solution. Jangan bagi problem atau jangan bagi solution terus. Itu memang selalu kena tembak dan management akan kata buat semula. Dia tak tahu apa salah dia ni. Lalan makan yang mata je. Sebab dia ingat dia apa, tak pandai lah kan, bos tak suka kat dia lah. Padahal silap dekat storyline je. Okay. Alright, that's all for today. You have completed a good 5 days program within 2 hours. Okay. Ada apa soalan tak?
COVID.
Okay, so you should be able to describe what is situational assessment and able to deliver good SA for you to green light to do improvement project. So if you are Six Sigma, tahu orang Six Sigma guys ni? Six Sigma black ke, biru ke, yellow ke, green ke? Anybody with Six Sigma? So if you are Six Sigma background, you are already actually in the scope of improvement of the ataupun solving the problem, ya. So always remember to take your helicopter, naik sikit dan tengok balik the keadaan and do your situational assessment before you approach the processes. Yang kita risau bila kita buat improvement pada proses, we fail to think systematically. Kita lupa nak tengok perubahan pada proses yang kita buat tu impact kepada proses-proses lain di entire value chain. Kita seronok sendiri tapi sebenarnya tengok dekat financial logic tree tak bergerak apa pun. Okay? Right, so you will be able to conduct interview for data gathering exercise. Tadi dah belajar cara interview. And then guna logic tree and value map to explain your situation assessment. So within these 2 hours, I hope you gain as much and get this learning objective lah. Okay tak?